What's going on, it's Fornuto, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys why you should stop overcomplicating your drums. In addition to that, I am dropping my first expansion for the whip up kit as well as a free loop pack down below. So let's get right into it. Alright, so we're here in FL Studio and I'm going to browse through these 10 free loops that I'm dropping as well as this expansion pack for the whip up kit. So yeah, we got 10 fire loops in here, all handmade, royalty free for you guys. So yeah, let's get right into it. So I'm going to go with Rise and Shine here. So for this tutorial, I really wanted to use a melody that is more complex on the complexer side, but I still think that these tactics and these tips that I'm about to kind of share with you guys work on any type of melody. But if you really think about it, in your favorite songs, I want you to think about your favorite songs or songs that have been hits in recent years. You know, there's not too many sounds, especially in the drums and percussion, because you'll find that the more drums you add to a beat, the higher, or the more that the higher frequencies are going to be taken up.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
And I definitely think that keeping things simple will allow for artists to listen to the beat and find a flow to use on it.
Many hours later.
So for the whip up expansion kit, I really wanted to focus on bringing you guys fresh, new sounds that hit hard and really carry groove. All these sounds in here are going to help you create more groove for your melodies and really allow for you to keep things simple. That's why I wanted to do this video, because I feel like with a lot of people, you know, the drums aren't hitting hard enough, so they have to keep adding drums to fill the space. But really, if you just have 4 or 5 hard hitting drums, the groove's going to be there. So yeah, let's get ready. So I really think that one thing that really goes overlooked is, you know, there's that classic snare placement that everybody uses right here. And like, don't get me wrong, that's fire in a lot of beats, but sometimes I feel like the groove has changed and it's almost kept a little bit more spacious if you take this first one out. And it kind of emphasizes the second clap a little bit more. I really like to use that a lot, and I think it allows for you to use other drums where you could use this. But yeah, so. So when I'm trying to keep things simple, I usually like to think about where I normally place sounds. In this case, I usually will have a clap. Sometimes I'll have an open hat or a perk right here in this the start of the second. I don't know what this is, like measure, or I'm not really sure, but I always just think of it as like the second group of 4. And really, honestly, I'm going to add one more thing, you know? I definitely think that a lot of producers tend to, because of the trend, you know, the Pyrex hi-hats, the 808 Mafia hi-hats from years ago, that trend of like super crazy rolling rolling hi-hats is something you need to do a lot. And I feel like sometimes you overdo them. People tend to overdo them, and it really just kind of makes the beat sound messy and hectic. And I feel like only a few artists can really pull that off. So I usually like to keep things simple. Like with my 808s, it's the same pattern, 2 bars. It's repeated throughout 8 bars, so it's 4 bars of the same 2-bar pattern, or 4 sections, whatever, 4 times of this, whatever, you get it. But like, I really think that keeping it simple with the hi-hats allows for you to kind of add a little bit more perks instead of, you know, just carrying that hecticness with the hi-hats. I think if you keep the hi-hats simple and allow for more space for the 808s and the perks, you're going to get a lot more bounce and hence less overdoingness of your drums, if that's a thing. But yeah, so this is what we got for the percussion so far. So now we're going to get into the 808s, and yeah. So with the 808 here, I kept it really simple. You know, I didn't do any note changes. I kept it at C, which is the root note of the melody. And I feel like a lot of times producers also tend to follow that new trend of doing all those crazy high 808s and all that stuff and change velocity. I really think that there's a time and place for that. But if you're trying to make a simple beat with just kind of like a solid groove and almost like a guaranteed placement, I feel like keeping your 808s as simple as possible allow for a lot more like catchiness and kind of like that earworm factor, because this and the last thing we're going to get into is kick. And what I like to do with my kicks. As you can see, I'm not going crazy with the kicks. I'm not adding them on every time the 808 hits. I'm not doing any rolls, which are so dead it's unbelievable. But yeah, I really think that keeping your kicks even simpler than your 808s really helps too. I don't really like to copy the 808 pattern and have it hit every kick, or vice versa, because I think that it doesn't really add anything different. It's just your kick. It's just your 808 as a kick, you know? I like to kind of add some variation, and that's why I believe these type of things, you know, adding variation and switch ups allows for, you know, more complexity in your beats. I don't think adding more drums really allows for that. I think that's where people go wrong. You know, make things more interesting with switch ups and addition and subtraction of patterns. You don't need to keep adding sounds to make things interesting and complex, you know? So with that being said, I'm going to mix this, bounce it out, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you learned something. Make sure you go cop that Whip Up expansion kit down below and go cop that free sample kit. Peace.